Now, live from the CN8 studios, this is CN8 News Midday with Kevin Walsh.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Kevin Walsh. We begin today in North Korea where two trains carrying fuel crashed into each other, causing a massive explosion. Happened about 30 miles south of the Chinese border, and early estimates put the death toll, or the number of people injured collectively, at about 3,000. The impact from the crash in Ronchong so severe it sent debris and ash miles away. Hours before that crash, North Korean President Kim Jong-il passed through the very same place after secret nuclear talks with China. That, of course, fueled immediate speculation that the Korean leader might have been a target. But so far, it seems to be just an unfortunate accident. Having trouble getting video out of North Korea. It is a communist nation, and journalists are not allowed to roam free there. So for now, a map. We're working on more information for later in the day. In Iraq, a warning for the rebels who continue to fire on coalition forces. The top Marine commander in Iraq says guerrillas have days, not weeks, to turn in their heavy weapons. And if they don't, the heavy fighting could resume. There has been a shaky ceasefire in place for several days now to allow insurgents to turn in their heavy weapons. However, the U.S. military says the response has been very disappointing. Most of the weapons that have been turned in are small arms, some of them rusty, and are no longer usable. In Texas, good news, it's going to be a big party in Fort Hood today as the Army is welcoming home troops who served in Iraq. Among the troops coming home, members of the Army's 4th Infantry Division, which cornered and captured Saddam Hussein back in December. Relatives of fallen soldiers also plan to attend. Pop star Jessica Simpson, Drew Carey, and the band Lynyrd Skynyrd scheduled to take part in the welcome home celebration. Yesterday, close to home for us, homecoming day for about 50 soldiers from the Delaware National Guard. They were greeted by loved ones Wednesday at the Guard's Readiness Center in Newcastle. The soldiers are from the 249th Engineer Detachment. The mission, help rebuild Iraq's infrastructure.
It was cool. It was a little unusual to see all the, nobody shooting at you. Just having a lot of, it's just green grass. Just nice. Just nice. No threatening situations. It's a good deal.
249 spent 15 months in Iraq. It also spent time in Kuwait during Operation Desert Storm. Gunfire inside of a Philadelphia hospital this morning. It began when a prison inmate who was being treated at Frankfurt Hospital got into a scuffle with a prison guard. Police say the prisoner, 45-year-old Eric Holly, struck the officer and then took her gun. 3 shots were fired. Good news, nobody injured. Holly was quickly subdued, and police are investigating how he managed to get his hands on the officer's gun in the first place. Every year, dozens of Philadelphia school students are hit by cars as they come and go from school. Today, the City Council is looking into whether it can make the walk home a bit safer before somebody's child is killed. CNA's Tara Nern is live at Philadelphia City Hall with more on that. Hi, Tara.
Kevin, I'm sure a lot of people in the city have seen this horrible picture of 9th grader Ashley Thorpe. She was hit by a car when she was walking home from school yesterday, and she is not the first but the 70th Philadelphia student to get hit walking to and from school this year alone. Because of this, City Council is holding a hearing on public safety for students this afternoon. We have with us 2 people who are going to be talking to members of council. First, we have the planning director from Ashley's school, Franklin Town Charter High School. This accident really does highlight the need for better safety procedures, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. We have petitioned in the past several politicians who have been working diligently with us to obtain these signs, and unfortunately up to date we haven't been able to do that. Hopefully now that this tragedy has happened, we'll be able to have the signs that are needed for the children's safety of Philadelphia.
Thank you for talking to us. And next we have Lee Matusik, who comes to us from Florida. She is with the Florida Department of Highway Safety, and she's going to be talking about what sorts of measures Florida has in place.
Well, Florida has mandatory training for the school crossing guards, which is one of the #1 priorities, making sure that the crossings are filled when the guard isn't there, as well as signage. Signage goes with the putting in the schools, not waiting and ask for the schools to request them.
Okay, thank you for being with us. I'm sure people in Philadelphia will learn a lot from hearing what Florida does to keep its students safe.
I hope it'll make a big difference up here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As for Ashley, we're told she is recovering at home. She has a concussion, but fortunately no broken bones, and she is missing her 2 front teeth. So her school officials are contacting hospitals to see if there's anything cosmetic that can be done for her. Our thoughts do go out to her. Live in Philadelphia, Tara Nurin, CN8 News.
All right, thank you very much, Tara. Follow up now on a murder investigation in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Police arrested 2 cousins in connection with the death of 55-year-old Dave Scafidi. The 2 cousins are 20-year-old Curtis Andrews and 23-year-old Alfonso Morrison from Philadelphia. They are charged with murder. The body of the Lower Providence Township insurance salesman was found last week inside of a dumpster in North Philadelphia. Police thank neighbors for their help.
I wanted to thank the people in the neighborhood in and around 1000 block of Diamond Street. They were very helpful in the investigation. They brought the information to the police department initially after Mr. Scafetta was reported missing.
Morrison and Andrews will be arraigned on numerous charges, including robbery and murder, later this month. Multi-millionaire with ties to our area has fled the country to avoid tax fraud charges. Philanthropist Herbert Axelrod was supposed to have his arraignment in Trenton today, but authorities have learned he has fled to Cuba. The 76-year-old philanthropist sold 30 violins to the New Jersey Symphony for $18 million. They were actually valued at $50 million. Axelrod is accused of hiding money from the IRS in a Swiss bank account. The United States does not have an extradition treaty with Cuba. 4-car accident in Bucks County, Pennsylvania last night sent 7 people to the hospital. 5 of the victims are members of the boys lacrosse team at Central Bucks East High School. Police say the accident occurred when a Volkswagen Jetta the boys were driving in was hit by a Verizon utility truck as it turned onto Route 413 from Paste Road. 2 other cars involved in the crash. At last check, 2 of the 7 victims were listed in critical condition. Dramatic scene in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania after a trench collapsed, trapping 2 men inside. It happened yesterday in New Hanover Township, just north of Pottstown. 1 man has died. The other was pulled to safety after hours of rescue efforts.
We told them that to be perfectly still, not to move any extremities, because it was very difficult due to limited space to be able to package him properly in backboards and that. So we told him to be perfectly still. The harness we had on him kept his neck stiff and kept his arms in that stiff. So when we hoisted him out of the hole, we did it straight up, and he actually did nothing. We did everything with the mechanics of the ladder and the rope rigging we did.
Surviving man, the injured victim, is identified as Gary Vroman of Boyertown. At last check, he was in the hospital in fair condition. The name of the man who died in that trench collapse has not yet been released. Federal authorities are on the road today in the Midwest assessing damage from deadly tornadoes in at least 4 different states. 8 people died in the Illinois town of Utica, which is about 90 miles southwest of Chicago. Survivors there are counting their blessings.
It was just the wind whip, and within 10 seconds everything was done, and it was calm again. And he looked out and said, "I thought we put the car in the garage," and the garage was gone.
Twister's 200-mile-an-hour winds turned buildings into piles of brick and splintered wood. The governor of Illinois declared 4 counties disaster areas. Twisters also touched down in Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, and Oklahoma. Today is a day that we celebrate nature. It is Earth Day, so go plant a tree or recycle some cans. And school children nationwide are learning about nature in science classes and also on field trips. One event was held today at Temple University in Ambler. Our own Robin Stevens was the MC, and Robin joins us now. There's more on that. Hi, Robin.
Hello, Kevin, and happy Earth Day. Earth Day is really changed. It all started back in 1970, and we have come a long way. You're right, today's the day. Go plant a tree, conserve water, recycle, do what you can. But now we're going to talk about electronic cars. We have certainly come a long way. Everybody's trying to avoid pollution. So joining me is Ed Court, who has his own company. And tell us a little bit about this electronic car.
Well, this is an electric pedicab. It's an ultra lightweight.
Let's take a ride here too. Why we do this?
It's an ultra lightweight electric utility vehicle. It's great for transporting people around parks and zoos, farms, gated communities. It doesn't take any gasoline or petroleum. It's environmentally friendly, and it's quiet. The vehicles were all designed and manufactured by Chronosport in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, so this is really homegrown technology.
Is this what people are looking for? Something that's pollution-free? They don't have to go to the gas station? They don't have to bother with all that?
Absolutely. We've had a lot of demand for environmentally friendly vehicles to replace the gasoline-powered golf carts and other polluting utility vehicles. So we wanted to come up with something new, with something with a cool factor, and something that's fun.
And speaking of fun, you can see all the kids here. There have been 5,000